Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today we found an old EDM CD that we burned 2 decades ago, and after finding a laptop that could actually play a CD, those are incredibly rare these days, we got all nostalgic and listened to PPK's Resurrection about 100 times until finally taking a break to watch Mihai playing as the Goths in red take on Hera playing as the Ethiopians in blue. Now, while the players heard their herdables explore their immediate surroundings and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP, why don't we take a look at the Civ matchup we'll be watching today. Now, the Goths are about as single-minded as a civilization can get in Age of Empires by pushing its players towards one military building, the barracks. These structures start the game working 20% faster and can be upgraded to work more than 200% faster, which is fantastic for the Goths because in Imperial Age, they actually get 10 free population space, capping out at 210 compared to the usual 200. All Goth infantry also get progressively cheaper as the game goes on, all the way up to a massive 35% discount in Imperial, and that very same infantry does come with a progressive attack bonus against buildings, all the way up to +3 in Imperial, which does make them quite fantastic at taking down structures, buildings, castles, anything and everything, basically Goths being Goths. Now, the barracks itself can also be upgraded to train the unique unit of the Goths, the Huskarl. This is a pretty decent infantry unit with one set of skills, killing archers, which might be a little problematic here for our Ethiopian, although time will tell. Huskarls come with a pretty damn big attack bonus against archers and base pierce armor that makes them basically immune from most archer fire in the game. Now, to support a big hungry population, their hunters are stronger, they do carry more, and their hunt lasts 20% longer. And by the way, they also get loom researched in just under a second, which means their villagers are harder to kill and raid right off the very bat, right as the game begins. Unless, like Mihai, you decide to delay researching loom for a little bit, pulling the deer. It might be one of the cleanest deer pushes we've ever seen. Is it pushing or pulling? The scout's pushing. The gravity of the town center is pulling. Could go either way, actually. In any event, let's take a look at the Ethiopians, a civilization designed to kill its opponents as fast as humanly possible. Their foot archers, their machine gunners, I should say, are the fastest firing foot archers in the game. Their onagers, scorpions, rams, and bombard cannons can all be upgraded to get an even bigger blast radius. And their unique unit, the Shotel warrior, is a fast, incredibly strong, but overall kind of fragile infantry unit that only trains in 4 seconds once you get it up to its elite form. And that helps strengthen their army on the battlefield. Both their Shotel warriors and their camel units can actually be upgraded to take 3 less damage from all mounted units in the game, whether or not those mounted units are ranged or melee, although not exactly something I'm expecting to see out of our Goth at the moment. Now, to support their military endeavors, the Ethiopians do get 100 free food and gold every time they go up to the next age. Their pikeman upgrade is free of charge, which saves them about 300 resources, and their economy, their settlement, everything is basically harder to surprise because when they build an outpost, it comes with extra 3 range and doesn't cost any stone, which basically means if you're playing Ethiopians, there's no excuse not to have about 10 outposts by the 30-minute mark of the game. Those are the two civilizations, both players at 17 villagers a pop. Let's see what they've explored of each other's bases. Hera has seen very little at the moment, except for his immediate surrounding. I say very little. He's seen about a good, I would say 40% of the map, just not the 40% that pushes towards his opponent. And now pushing Ibex, our Goth has seen even less. So neither player really pushing out into the map. I, of course, say that right as Hera pushes out into the map. Oh, goodness gracious. My favorite yellow lemon bushes. Let's take a look at where the resources are because both players are now finally heading up to the next age. It looks like at the exact same time. Minus, sorry, what am I talking about? I was looking at the villager count of 1919 and I thought, okay, that's obviously the same number. So I said the exact same time, but actually it's our Goth who will be heading up to Feudal Age a little bit quicker than his opponent. Did he get loom? Yes, he got loom. Did Hera get loom? Trying to click on a villager. Yes, he did. So there you go. Loom, if you're not familiar with the upgrade that roids up the villagers a little bit in the beginning of the game, making them a little bit harder to snipe, does take 25 seconds to research, which is the exact amount of time that it takes to train a villager. So if Hera has the same villager count and also has loom, Whereas for our Goth, Loom is instantaneous. Blink and you've got it. That explains why our Goth is ahead. Basically 25 seconds plus the 3 seconds that Hera has as downtime on his TC. So by the time he gets to 0 on the left, it should be 26 or 27 or 8 on the right, which it is. And all of that blabbering aside, let's take a look at very quickly at the resources, because it looks like Mihai's already planning some kind of shenanigans here. Okay, I'm going to shut up as he's here with 3 militias. Why is he going south? You do not want to push Hera's villagers this way. Hera's gold nice and secure in the back. Lemon bushes to the back. Extra gold, extra stone off campus. Primary stone also not really to the back, but more off the beaten path. So not really at risk at the moment. Forests, 1, 2, 3, pretty damn far away from one another. Pretty damn far away from the town center. So walling this off is not going to be the easiest in the world. The Gothic militia have now matured. They've had a little bit of wine. Their taste buds have become a little bit better. And now they are men-at-arms. But Ethiopian villagers are still enough to shoo them away. And this is exactly what I was talking about. Why is Mihai leading Hera to right where his proxy secret base is? Oh, goodness. Why did you lead? The only thing I can assume with Mihai's movement here is that he wanted to trap Hera's villagers in this area. I say trap. I mean, keep them around in this area until these archers popped out. But inadvertently, what he did is just reveal to Hera that he has a bit of a side hustle going on here. His men-at-arms should have probably gone this way. And then when the villagers returned, you'd have 2 or 3 archers already here in place. But anyway, I'm not going to second guess these players. My elo is definitely not 2598. It's definitely not 2725. But it looks like a few kills here and there already for our players. So a little bit quicker than usual. We'll take a look at our Gothic base, not exactly under any kind of pressure. So location of resources at the moment, not exactly very important. Okay. I mean, he got a villager. They both have killed 3 military supply of the other. But again, I'm a little upset. I don't know why I'm upset, but now he's going to build the additional infrastructure right underneath Hera's nose. Hera's going to see all of this. If you're planning a secret attack, if you're planning to have a proxy barracks, stable, archery range, siege workshop like Huang likes to do, and by proxy I just mean not in your settlement, much closer to your opponent, which this is, then don't lead your opponent's villagers straight to it. Don't reveal it unless there's something in the game plan that I am missing, and part of the game plan is to reveal. Anyway, let's take a very quick look at our Goth base. Primary gold very exposed to the front. No wonder Mihai is the one putting on the aggression at the moment. Primary stone off the beaten path to the back. A bit extra gold and stone on the periphery, and a bit of extra gold very exposed to the front. This is an actually atrocious base spawn. Completely open in the forward position, completely open on the right flank. Primary gold exposed next to an annoying hill where you have the world's fastest firing foot archers could position themselves. And so is it any wonder here that Mihai has decided to take on the role of aggressor? He does not want Hera anywhere near that base. That is just an actually ugly base. Whereas Hera at least has these forests in the forward position that he can, you know, a few more houses and he's going to wall this off. Forget houses, just palisades. And he's going to wall this off. Whereas what the hell is Mihai going to do? Look at this base. Completely open. Not that the Goths are necessarily a civilization that the developers wanted players to wall off. The weakest walling civilization, even the humans who don't get stone walls like the Goths, at least their palisades come with more HP. The Goths just have basic bitch palisades. But what he also has is 50% more army supply. He has presence. He is here. Hera building a counter tower, both of them wasting a good amount of stone where they probably didn't want to. Skirmishers enter into the dead zone. Get another archer. I mean, the kill counts are not very different until you realize that our Goth has actually killed 2 Ethiopian villagers, and he's ahead 7 villagers at the 15-minute mark of the game. Mihai is just, I mean, he's in absolute control of this game. Maybe not with this guy, although he does have 1 kill, so he can now retire into the countryside. His commander will give him a plot of land here in, I guess, Ethiopia, and he will become some kind of farmer. I don't know what they used to do in ancient times. I mean, I know what the Romans used to do, but the Romans aren't the only, ain't the only game in town, you know? For now, our Goth I said they worship at the altar of the barracks, so of course our Goth is going heavy on the ranged units, and you guys wonder why I don't call games early on. It was funny yesterday during the live stream, or 2 days ago rather, during the live stream, when we were trying to guess the direction of where the players would go, and I'm very happy to report that, first of all, if you don't watch the live streams, you definitely should. We watch a lot of Rage Forest 4-on-4 with some of the best players in the game. And actually, Hera now dominating in the kill count, not for long, but dominating for a short bit. But I was very proud of Valis, of all people, who I think is the best Rage Forest team game player in the world at the moment. I don't know what the Elos are, or what the rankings say, but in my opinion, he is the best team game 4-on-4 Rage Forest player right now. Was playing as the Huns. And anytime you see Huns in Rage Forest, it's a pretty damn good guess they're going to go 9 times out of 10 Cav Archers with that 10%, 20% discount. But I said I wanted to see Tarkans. And lo and behold, I think something like 50 Tarkans appeared out of the ether. And so that was a proud moment. So I'm going to counteract saying that they are a infantry civilization and Mihai going ranged units with the small success that I had online, trying to predict which direction our Hun would go. More and more kills. Our Goth back on top of the kill leaderboard here. He's got 3 more kills still. Hasn't killed any new villagers, but he's keeping Hera. He's keeping Hera pinned back here. Hera's now down only 4 villagers, so he's doing a good job catching up. But look at Hera's idle time on his town center. This is the same idle time as 3 villagers being trained. I don't know if that's because he's using his food for army. He is training scouts and skirmishers. Skirmishers not exactly the heaviest food intensive unit, but still does require food. But that the same can be said about a Goth. 7 skirmishers, 3 spearmen. Archer doesn't cost any food, but still an archer. Hera has been lamed off this one patch of forest, so all of his lumberjacks are here. He must have seen the forest to the back. Yeah, he has, but this is very far away. So Hera, look at this, beginning to wall off the northeast of his base. Perhaps expecting an even bigger push, but Mihai, sneaky, is going up to Castle Age already. He's got 7 villagers on stone. Hera has 0 villagers. He bought 100 food because he's got a shit ton of gold. And now he's also going up to Castle Age. But yet again, he's down 30-something seconds behind his opponent. Almost 40 seconds, I want to say. 38, 40 seconds. And look at Hera pulling an MBL, saying, I want to explode onto the map militarily once I hit Castle Age. And I do not want to get housed, supply blocked of any nature when I do so. So this kind of wall off either tells you he's planning a big military or big economic boost, or he's just walling it off with thicker structures because he knows he's playing against the Goths, who are just about experts at demolishing anything and everything. And so a 250 HP palisade is not exactly going to be a fantastic defense against that. As our Goth continues to patrol like a shark. He's just circling the base. In 10 seconds, he's going to be in Castle Age. He's got 611 stone. And, okay. 663 stone. The question is not if a castle will go up. The question is where will it go up? And it goes up right in Hera's face, right in the center here. We saw MBL do this to Hart yesterday. Archery range barracks are in jeopardy, as are 5 houses. Right? 1, 2, 3. There's a house behind here. That's 25 population space, an archery range, and a barracks. But Hera's in castle. Can he contest this castle? I don't know. Scouts are moving out, luring a few of these spearmen. Our Goth is doing a 1 town center all in. Hera says, you know what? I like the idea of a castle. I, too, can buy stone just like you because, hey, I'm the Ethiopian, so I get 100 gold for free every time I go up to the next stage. A little bit of a rebate back from the developers, so that I can spend a little bit of it on stone, and gets his own castle up. Pretty defensive castle. I'm surprised it's not here. Hera's never really wanted to be quite shy about his castle placement. And oh mama, he's teefing the gold underneath the very nose of the Ethiopian now. Huskarls, I don't know about Huskarls. Huskarls taking on Shotel warriors. I mean, I want to see it. Okay, looks like a few Huskarls are already out. 3 of them. I don't know about this. Shotel warriors with squires are gonna burst out of this. They are gonna burst out of that castle like my stomach bursts out of my pants after I eat at a Chinese buffet. And they are just going to, like my stomach, just engulf everything here. Nothing here can stand against these units. Look, I mean, the one weakness obviously is their lack of any kind of armor and their shitty HP, 45. But look at that attack, 16. What's Hera going to do with them? He's going to combat this. He is building another town center down south. Let's see what he decides to do. He's moving in. He's carved his army into 2 army groups, one to the east, one to the west. There's a castle. He knows there's a castle. He sees there's a castle. Will he see the monk? The monk definitely sees him. Look at that. Look at the speed of attack. Look at just the absolute mayhem that is being caused by these Shotels. Whereas the Goth is currently just busy attacking in archery range. Okay. Maybe you want to let your castle handle that. And it is actually our Goth who has outposts out on the map. No upgrades whatsoever on these Shotels, but this is a pretty open base. That being said, if Hera runs this way, the garrison villagers in the town center might pick off 1 or even 2 of these Shotel warriors if Mihai's reaction time is quick enough. It is. I mean, look at how much damage. Okay, actually, never mind. Didn't see a single lick of damage at all. Is this closed off? Yes, it is. This. They are so freaking powerful. They are so ridiculously powerful, the Shotel warriors. Let's take a look at what's going on back here. A garrison town center with 10, now going up to 12 villagers. And even more Shotels should clear up these buildings here. Hera with a army that's kind of hanging out here. A little uncharacteristic for him to just leave an army group not doing anything, although he might be microing a bit too much. 1 group of Shotels to the south, 1 group of Shotels to the north. And it looks like our Goth is going crossbows. Okay. I mean, our quick archer civilization is going infantry, and our infantry, quintessential infantry civilization, is going archers. And look at how much damage even these crossbows do. What do they attack on now? A 6, a 7, a 7. Oh, Mihai tries to wall them in, fails. So now he's gonna have to deal with them. Let's take a look at how quickly they kill anything and everything, and how quickly they die as well. Oh, if you can close in with a Shotel, I mean, it'll just rip you apart. But 2 crossbows, not a bad trade there for our Goth. His infrastructure has been cleared out. His blacksmith is in jeopardy. Is this his only blacksmith? Yeah, I might want to rebuild that if you're intending to upgrade your units anymore. And look at this. Mihai says, you want to keep me out? I want to keep you in. Good idea. Let's just build a bunch of houses here. And the Shotels, they've closed on the minimum range of the skirmishers, which means that these skirmishers are going to die unless they run to the castle. And the castle's not paying attention. The castle's not paying attention. Was attacking a house. Could have gotten possibly a Shotel. And now a siege workshop going up. So Hera has defended for the most part. His upgrades are terrible. His economy is not great. He's down 6 villagers. Our Goth taking his foot off the gas pedal for a second there. Now placed a second town center. No more Huskarls for him at all. He is going pure crossbow. I like this castle placement for our Ethiopian. Protects the gold. Guards the stone behind here. What an absolute... This is the exact opposite. And now he's getting ballistics. Yeah, this is literally the exact opposite of how I thought the game would go. I thought we would be seeing Huskarls taking on arbalests or crossbows from the Ethiopians firing... Because when they're fully upgraded, they fire as fast as a Mangadai, which firing speed in Age of Empires is an incredibly important statistic. I love this unit. Is he not wearing any shoes? Interesting. No wonder he's so fast. Unburdened by the modern clothing restrictions. Although I think a lot of I feel like a lot of infantry units, unique units, are not, or am I crazy? I feel like a lot of them are not shoed. Like, they don't wear shoes. They're barefoot, is what I'm trying to say. A second castle for our Goth. I mean, he's going up to Imperial. Mihai, Hera had to catch up. He needed 3 town centers. With 3 town centers, he needed to spend all of his food on his economy. And Mihai says, I suspect you're going to do that. I mean, has he seen all 3 town centers? No, he hasn't seen the one to the top. He has seen, obviously, the one to the bottom. But Mihai, taking advantage of Hera's need to catch up economically, just rushes up to Imperial. And once Imperial is going to come out, I don't know about this petard who's in this castle, but you know what I do know is that 2 Trebs are going to pop out of these castles immediately. And all of a sudden, our Ethiopian is going to be in a world of trouble. He's building basic battering rams at the moment. He's getting forging for his Shotels. Maybe, I don't know, with a unit like this, what do you guys think? Do you prioritize armor upgrades? Every volley kills another Shotel. 2 get converted, but the 2 monks who converted them do die. And what an absolute display of the power and the weakness of a Shotel warrior. Isn't that insane? A bunch of crossbows, 13 of them, just one-shotting this unit that has no armor, has no HP, and I don't know that Hera could afford to lose that many Shotels, and now his opponent's an Imperial. Where are the Trebs? Where are the Trebs? There they are, 1 in each castle. I wonder if Hera's just going to try to push in here. He's got 6, I was going to say Mangonel because the Mangonel's training. 6 battering rams. Shotels are at a +1/+2, so he has gotten a good amount of armor on them for all the good that that's going to do him. Where are these prowling crossbows? And now the Shotels are going to try to close. They know there's, I bet again, one-shotting. They know that they have to clear out this army and then focus on those castles. But Mihai wisely going up to the high ground. Gotta stop moving. Gotta stop moving. Pro players love to move their units when they attack, which basically replaces the computer's firing AI with your brain. I mean, look at the love taps that the Shotels once they close. And what I mean by that, if the unit doesn't move, it'll attack when it attacks, which is when the computer tells it to. In this case, a crossbow, what is it, a 2-second delay? 2-second delay. Whereas if you're moving it and then stopping, moving, stopping, moving, stopping, you have to time that better than the computer would. Shotels do push back the infantry. There is no murder holes, but there's 2 castles, which means you don't need murder holes. He went after the Trebs first. 4 rams per castle. Shotels are here. They need to get the hell inside. And the petard did blow up. Oh, is he training any more petards? No, he's getting Huskarls. Mihai is broke as a joke, but he's an Imperial. He's got 1 Treb, not really doing much. And as the Shotels close in here, the crossbows are having a field day killing them. Mihai has enough villagers here. Holy shit, by the way, 13 villagers. The Treb is firing. The Treb is firing on the rams. But now the Shotels are gone. There's only 4 of them. Skirmishers adding in whatever tiny little amount of DPS. Even when a ram has 16 HP, a few skirmishers are good enough. And no, oh, mama bear. Well, that was interesting. Hera, once his opponent hit Imperial, knew that he was in a serious amount of trouble. I mean, look at his resources. He's nowhere close to going up to the next age. And Mihai, from the very beginning with the non-stop pressure. Again, I'm a little... Let me know in your comments. Am I getting upset over nothing with this, the archery range that was here? I really didn't like that he led Hera's villagers there, but ultimately it didn't really matter. Our Ethiopian may or may not have expanded here anyway. Maybe if he didn't know that there was an archery range here, he would have expanded here instead. Made it easier for those Trebs to destroy a town center, or maybe made Mihai think twice about putting a second castle. Who knows? All conjecture. But ultimately, the attack on... I mean, I was going to say attack on Titan here, but attack on the game's Titan, Hera, really pushed him back economically. And even though Mihai only killed 6 villagers to 2, that is not a high kill count for a 40-minute game in terms of villagers, in terms of economic... pushing your opponent to the brink economically. Hera's town center idle time was about 3 villagers behind very early on. And so he struggled to come back economically. And then when he finally did come back economically, because he got literally nothing done here with those Shotels, who, if I'm not mistaken, poked their head in here, prairie dogged it a little bit, destroyed a palisade, ran in here, saw that this was walled out, then ran around the back of the forest, came here, killed 2 crossbows, maybe a villager. I didn't really see if they killed a villager. I don't think they did. And then they died. What the hell is this? What is this, by the way? What am I looking at? It looks like mushrooms. You know what this is? It looks like the eggs from Alien, where the face huggers are born. What the hell is that? But in any event, he got very little counter damage done. Mihai setting the pace of the game right from the very beginning and just pushing out, forcing his opponent to push out army when Hera needed to build up his economy. And then when Hera finally did catch up. Remember, I mentioned many times when a player falls behind, as Hera did in this game, if your opponent rushes to the next age, you essentially have only a few options. You either double down in castle or you try to go up to Imperial. I feel like Hera tried to go up to Imperial with 3 town centers. His villager count is ahead of his opponent. Maybe he just wasn't expecting Mihai to rush his ass up to Imperial. Maybe he expected more crossbows. Maybe he expected some kind of Gothic push, more Huskarls, which is why he continued to train more and more Shotel warriors. He had a castle here, which basically stops any kind of aggression on the gold and the stone with this town center. This town center is pretty off the beaten path here with the houses, so it's pretty safe. So maybe Hera thought he was nice and safe and secure, had a moment to get his economy up and running, but Mihai said, nah, hold my beer, rushed his butt up to Imperial Age, and now he's going up to 14 hand cannoneers. Where even are these hand cannoneers? I didn't see a single hand cannoneer. Okay, they're making their way very slowly across the map. Oh no, there are 2 in the front position. No kills for them just yet, though. Why do I feel like this is the Teutonic phrase? Oh man, I am just confusing things left, right, and center. Mihai literally throwing the kitchen sink at his opponent. What the hell do we have here? We've got monks, we've got mangonels, hand cannoneers, crossbows, villagers, trebs, castles, and skirmishers, as we saw. Literally anything and everything that he could throw. Every ranged unit to gun down and convert and destroy as many Shotels as he could before they closed, because the last thing you want this badass to do is to close on you. And you saw how fast he killed those, where were they? Here, you saw how freaking fast they just killed that group of crossbows. And that's exactly, you see the trail here of their scabbards, I believe, from those double-fisted swords. Shows you how well Mihai's micro was in kiting those Shotels, but they ultimately closed, they ultimately killed, and this is a lot of dead Shotels. Let's take a look at the stats, because that was just a fantastic game out of our Goth. PKPM right at the end of the PKPM for Hera, also towards the end of the game. 46 rather, against 69. For all you pervy meme lords out there, Shotel warriors, the economy, not that different. About 10% bigger economy for the Goth, who does have more wood and gold. Well, there's your crossbow army. Where's food and stone? There's your Shotel and your castle. Kill conversions, 4 out of 99, 4%. Buildings destroyed, our Goth in the lead as well. But yeah, ultimately, Mihai even starting to soak up relics all over the map with 3 of them. Total kill count 97 to 65. Not exactly the longest game, but Mihai giving his opponent no quarter, no pause, not even a moment to get his economy up. And again, by the time Hera finally got his villager count, finally got his villager allocation and his economy to where it needed to be after being delayed over and over again. And by the way, like I said, not delayed because he lost a bunch of villagers. No, delayed because Mihai was constantly aggressing against him. He was prowling the map with that group of crossbows like sharks, looking for kills up here, looking for kills here, looking for kills here, looking for kills here just underneath the town center, over here in the corner, down here to the south. He was so mobile with his archer army that Hera just had to constantly be focused on it. And with that, he just couldn't get his economy to where he needed it to be. And the Goths doing what Goths do best, which is destroying anything and everything in their path. Gets up the 2 fat castles, doesn't even need murder holes. when there's castles, these brother castles, sister castles, they've got each other's backs. This castle attacking these battering rams, this castle attacking these battering rams, crossbows firing holy hell on every single shotel that dares to try to enter into this zone. And Hera put up a valiant defense. Actually got this castle down to 1,000 HP, but Mihai even brought enough villagers to repair all of these castles. 13 villagers he brought to thief the gold and the wood. I'm surprised he didn't bring these 3 also to repair this one, but maybe he figured he didn't need to. And ultimately, what an absolute epic game here out of both of these players. Mihai with the non-stop aggression from the Gothic, I want to say archer barracks, but it's not the barracks, it's the archery range that won him this game. But ultimately, GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.